Hi guys, so tonight I'm stopping at Cotswolds Camping at Holycombe. Now I'm stopping at Cotswolds Camping and I think the place is called Whichford, but if not, I'll correct myself later on. Let's go and see what it's like. Right guys, so I've arrived at the campsite. You can literally go anywhere you want. Currently I'm on the site of the castle. There was a castle here, at least I think so, it says so, so who am I to disagree. But also there's a moat runs round the section I'm on now, this area here, which I'll just spin round. So sort of everything you can see on the flat here is the castle site, and then you've got a moat that runs round this entire area that I've just shown you. It's got random little random little accommodation, all sorts of different things. But so there's your moat, and that runs entirely around the area I've just shown you, and that's where I'm going to camp tonight, on the old castle site within the moat. But there's more on another level, and the toilet and wash facilities are on the other level, not on this level. Wow, better get my tent up, although the sky's nice and blue, you never know when the rain's going to come. So, oh, one thing to mention also, it has a stone circle in the middle. Now, I don't think that's a proper stone circle, but a little stone circle, you never do know, might have been, who knows. I'm going to have to find out, aren't I? But now I'm going to get my tent up and get back to you later. Well, I do seem to find them. Another eco-friendly site with composting toilets. There are actually, or there is a toilet just there, which is a normal toilet, but you've got composting toilets. Obviously a lot of environmental friendly stuff going on here. The grounds are all really good for wildlife, and lots of trees. There's fire pits on the site which you can use, and quite reasonably priced actually. Logs at £4 a bag, so you get logs at £4 a bag. The fire pit is there to use. Everything is set within quite a large area, and so you got a toilet there. Looks like you got a washing up place here to wash your dishes. At the moment with COVID, lots of places are having to make their decisions on what to keep open and what not to open, but there's like a camp kitchen here with a table inside and chairs, so inclement weather you'll be able to get in there and make your tea and sit down and eat it. That's closed at the moment because of COVID restrictions, but there's some outdoor stuff going on here with a kettle and a microwave. And gosh, it's really nice. You've got lots of little yurts, and there's an Aerostream, one of them American caravans, the aluminium caravans, Gypsy Carmen, whatever that is. I've no idea. But This is very, very nice. And we've got a bit of a tree, maybe orchard going on here. Whoops. Beautiful site. Basic facilities, but really cool. How about that? You can rent that, sleep in that, and I'd like to do that. I think that's really brilliant. Lots of paths cut into the grassway with wild grass, grass left to grow for the wildlife. I keep coming across these really cool sites. Brilliant. Well, going to enjoy another night's camping in the Cotswolds. So guys, the tent is up. It's kitted out, ready to sleep. Listening to the bells from the church. How pleasant. I didn't count them though, so I've no idea what time it is. There is a pub in the village, which is probably about a 10-minute walk. Well, we're in the village, but it's at the other end of the village. I'm going to go on my motorbike to see if it's open tonight, because I ain't. Second night in a row, I've not bought any bottles of beer. So I'm really, really stuffed tonight again if the pub's shut. But very pleasant here now, and I've got some logs being left over from a previous user of the pitch, and so we're going to have a fire tonight, a little brazier, and I've got a picnic table and chair, so I don't need to get my chair out. Anyway, we're off to see if the pub's open, and I'll come back, get changed, and probably go to the pub. So it's early evening. Actually turned out to be a very nice night. Rain clouds were threatening, but they seem to have gone. And I'm just having a little walk around. I've shown you many aspects of the site. Just wanted to show you the moat from a different angle, and I think a better angle, just to see the curvature on it. So behind me there, if you can see, I'll lift up, is the curvature of the moat. Now, unfortunately, because I haven't got any data and I can't get onto the internet from here, I don't know what the history is to the site. But I will find out, and when I find out what the history is, I'll do another little session before or during editing, which will be at home, obviously, just to let you know what the site's about. This site is managed by the owners with no contact, so you pay on the internet, turn up, and with instruction, obviously you can go anywhere, you can pitch anywhere. In my case, because I didn't have any access to the internet, they were very flexible, and there's an honesty box with some envelopes, so you just fill the envelope in, put your money in, put it into an honesty box, and that's what I've done. I noticed that there's the road directly outside here is called Roman Way, something like that, and there looks like a byway going directly, not in that direction, in that direction. Getting confused now. All right, so there's a byway, runs from the entrance and runs in that direction, and I suspect that's been an old Roman route. Gosh, it is bright tonight, isn't it? It's really nice. Putting all that aside, it's just a very pleasant site, eco-friendly, and it's a bit different. If you literally, I'm camping on what would have been an old castle with a moat going around and lots of eco-friendly stuff going on. Fire pits, £4 for a big bag of logs. What's not to like about it? Well, I'll tell you what's not to like about it. I forgot to get beer again, and the pub in the village is shut. So I'm gutted. So I'm just going to have tea, peppermint tea. Second night in a row, no beer. Anyway guys, I'll speak to you when I know further. So guys, my time at Cotswolds Camping literally is up. Eight o'clock in the morning. Time is literally up. I'm going to head off now, or shortly. I'm going to pack, head off. I've had a really nice stay here. What's quirky about this site, other than the fact that it's environmentally friendly, it's got many little terraces and places you can pitch anywhere. What's really quirky about this one is that we are on the site of an ancient monument, and it's a scheduled ancient monument. I don't know the history yet, but I'll put some commentary on some filming of the site I've done when I get to edit it, so that you at least have a flavour of the area and the site itself and the history of it. But I had a wonderful time here, and I really sort of wish I was staying another night, but I do need to go home today. But I will come back, and it's just an accidental pattern of randomly finding these sites that come up with some little gems, and that's one of the great reasons for probably not booking in advance, although COVID has caused a slight problem with that. But certainly you could turf up somewhere like this through the week. Maybe the weekend will be different, because I presume it'd be quite busy at a weekend, but through the week you could turf up at a place like this and be perfectly fine. So yep, that's a new one for me, camping on site of a scheduled ancient monument, and it's wonderful. Just a shame the pub wasn't open last night. Listen guys, enjoyed it here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not a subscriber, because it just helps immensely. Everything I do, as I've mentioned before, I pay for. It costs money to run a YouTube channel, and the more popular it becomes, the increasing costs associated to that. So at the very least, hit the subscribe button, and it just helps me out a little bit there. Thanks a lot guys, and I'll see you again.
So I've done a little bit of research on the castle and Whichford, and to be honest, there isn't a great lot of information, other than the fact that Whichford is recorded in the Domesday Book in 1086. It's recorded as Wickford, W-I-C-F-O-R-D, and it's recorded as a manor. So obviously there was a Norm. It was owned and was very notable Norman location. There is some suggestion there was a Motte and Bailey castle on the site of the castle that we've camped on. However, that also seems to be disputed. So whether there was, whether there wasn't, it's hard to say. The site itself, or the castle itself, if you look at when it was built, the talk in terms of around about the 13th century, and it was a Norman family, which would be the Mohuns, M-O-H-U-N, and they owned the site until the mid 14th century, and then it was passed over to the Stanleys, who were the Earls of Derby. They had it for about 200 years, and then during the latter part of their ownership, the site fell into disrepair and was abandoned. So what we have is a site that has had some excavation, where they discovered foundation stones and earthworks. There was foundation stones around the inner edge of the moat, which would obviously serve as the walls to the castle, albeit it's not really thought it was a castle as such, but a fortified manor. Now, a fortified manor would serve as a castle in terms of defence, but it may not have been a castle in terms of a castle that we would think of as a castle, but a fortified manor could well look like a castle and act like a castle. There was a lot of fine quality pottery found when the excavations were done, which would suggest that it was well-to-do ownership living in the castle or fortified manor. It's very close to St Michael's Church, and you've heard the church bells, and that church has a Norman entrance to it, and so there is a big Norman connection here. There is suggestion that the site was actually of importance pre-Norman, going back, I guess, for centuries, and also I mentioned about a Roman road. I thought maybe there was Roman route, but I don't think it was a Roman road. In fact, it wasn't. However, there is a Roman connection in that when excavations were done, they did find a supply, water supply, coming down from the nearby hills and woods to feed the actual.
So we can say that for sure the Normans built a castle or fortified manor here, and we can say from the 13th century for sure there seems to be records of this, and it obviously fell into disrepair very, very early on and has stayed in disrepair for a long period of time. The original site itself, when it was excavated, there was plenty of building, other remains of building material found in terms of blocks, stones, and with the pottery that was found, which was fine pottery, it would seem that it has been a house of some, a castle or manor house of some substance. I think at the end of the day, you need to do your own research if you want to know more, and but it is fairly limited. However, there's no doubting it certainly has been a castle or fortified manor. It certainly has had a moat, albeit it would be